How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. This is Deadpool 2. What are my predictions for Deadpool 2? Well, first off, I am watching Deadpool 2, the uncut, the super duper cut, whatever cut, the R-rated cut. I know there is also Once Upon a Deadpool, which, from what I have been told, seems like it is just Deadpool 2, but with most of the R-rated or all of the R-rated stuff cut out of it, and then just at the beginning of it, Deadpool just says, by the way, this is a Christmas movie, and that's it. So, doesn't sound like I want to watch that, doesn't sound like it's really anything extra, just kind of seems like a worse re-release. So, I'm watching this cut, if you were curious. I feel like 90% of my predictions for this movie was I thought this was going to be a Christmas movie, and then right before I was about to watch this, I was told about the Once Upon a Deadpool thing, and I feel like all my predictions that I had for this are now completely null and void, because I know that this is not going to be a Christmas movie. It is, I guess I'm spoiled on that. This is... I don't know what the plot of this movie is going to be. I was expecting them to do our last movie was a Valentine's Day movie, so let's make this one a Christmas one. No, I assume a lot of that was based off of the Once Upon a Deadpool thing, or just hearing about that, or whatever, but if they put all the Christmas stuff into that, and they only put it in the beginning anyway, then, what are my predictions? It's gonna be a lot of parody of Logan, probably, a lot of parody of, it's probably going to be this idea of rebelling against superhero movies and superhero stories that are being done realistically, or are being done with depressing story or whatever, which I would say is not really the norm, but I feel like just because Logan just came out right before this one, I feel like that's going to be what it touches on a lot, even if that's not very much of a thing. Yeah, that's really my only prediction. Anything else besides that, it's gonna be I think this has got to be way more of just a superhero. That's the weirdest way to say that. The movie that is called superhero movie, I imagine it's going to be a lot like that. Way different, but also very similar in the sense that last movie was an origin parody, but this one I feel like they're gonna have to go a lot harder on the just being a superhero parody rather than a origin parody, and also I feel like they're gonna broaden out from more just an X-Men parody as well into just broadly superhero stuff as well, but we'll see about that. I don't know. That's all I gotta say, so let's just jump into it. Let's watch the stinky red man do his thing. Okay, we are here for the discussion of Deadpool 2. A movie that I now, that we've taken 2 days before we're done the discussion, I now realize why I hate this movie so much. I know I hate it, but why it was so much more disappointing than the first one. Also, it is just a bad movie. It's badly written, that as well. But aside from that, I think the main part is that it doesn't feel like a Deadpool movie. Every single other person is... not every single other person, but so much of this movie's cast is more interesting and, more importantly, more comedic than Deadpool is. The thing that really got me was, thinking back on the movie and looking at a few of the stuff in the movie, and last movie was a lot of Deadpool does meta jokes. He's, cutting in between, cutting into scenes to make a meta joke, interrupting somebody or whatever. Whereas in this movie, a lot of the meta jokes aren't, interrupting anybody. It's very, Saved by the Bell-ish kind of thing. Yeah. And everybody interrupts Deadpool in this movie. Yeah. He is the straight man, and then everybody is going higher than he is on a heightened scale. And he is reacting to everybody else. Yeah. In a weird way. It's truly weird having a movie in which Deadpool is the straight man for the whole movie. And, even, the kid is way more of a Deadpool than he is. Which, again... fits for the fact this movie is, we just want to do Logan. Yeah. We barely even want to do a Logan parody. We just want to do Logan. Yeah. Like, this, I think that's also extremely disappointing. If there had been more time between watching Logan and this, maybe I would have liked it more. But it's like, I watched Logan, which is one of the best, if not the best superhero movie I've ever seen. And then this was like, we're just going to do that and then say it's funny? We're gonna pretend the movie's funny.
It's the classic problem of, if you're going to do a takedown of something, or if you're gonna say "screw you" thing, you gotta be better than it.
Yeah.
Or you have to have like very good salient points about it.
Which again is so much weirder because Deadpool did better than Logan. Like, Logan has a higher rating, but nobody gives a shit about anything but money in this fucking world. They only care about how much it's in the box office. So like, Deadpool did better than Logan, and the whole movie feels like it's really mad at the movie Logan.
Yeah, it has a weird underdog energy for it, for a movie that was the #1 R-rated movie, and that is the highest grossing X-Men movie of all time.
There's so little confidence in this movie.
Yeah, it's a weird mix.
As well as like, this is again just more of a movie rather than like a parody or a just comedy or whatever, and so like, it does way more of like a movie plot, but then it doesn't really resolve a lot of that. It just kind of ends out of nowhere.
Like, the amount of serious to funny is a bit more than the first movie, which is weird because the first movie had the, like, you know, we're gonna do the Deadpool shenanigans, but we have to do this entire, like, very boring backstory.
But even then, they were that had jokes in it.
Sure.
A lot of the, like, I think I also want to say it's not funny. I mean, like, Deadpool specifically, not the like, the movie has some comedic aspects to it that I really, really like, and I think it's way more quotable than the first one is as well.
Sure.
But I think Deadpool, the character, not funny in this movie, really. I can't think of a funny thing he said in the movie. I'm sure I chuckled at some things, but I chuckle about fucking everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, very, very strange for that. Well, last week we were saying, like, it's weird that they introduced T.J. Miller's character in the credits as the comedic relief when we don't think he said a single real joke throughout the entire movie. But in this, more interesting and funny than Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it's such a way, I was not expecting that. Wild. Truly wild. I would have rather just watched a movie of Domino or of Dopinder or of any of the people in the X-Force. Like, that was all, like, even the X-Force was like a perfect place to have this, like, team that Deadpool is also, like, the leader of, so he can be like, as the comedic, they're looking up to him, but it's still, everybody else has the jokes and he has the, like, setup.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Also, the X-Force thing was such a big piece of bait for the movie.
I'm sure.
Like, X-Force in the comics is essentially X-Men, but we do kill.
Okay.
Like, that is what everyone remembers it as. There's a
and
little more going
X-Force in the comics?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just X-Force.
Okay.
I don't think Deadpool's ever been part of X-Force. But a lot of the marketing was, like, we're gonna do an X-Force adaptation.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
Then, and then we get the big, like, well, now they all died. Except for Domino.
I mean, I get that. This movie definitely feels more like an X-Force movie than it does Deadpool, and they weren't even in this movie.
Right.
Which is just in the sense that, like, it feels like a team movie where it's, like, how do I put it? It's, like, Deadpool is the fish out of water, but not in a weird way. Like, not in a, he's the weird one in this world that is, has mutants and everything like that, but they're acting normal by this point and everything, like it was last movie. Like, the contrast between Deadpool and the school is, like, what they did a lot of it in the first one, and then not really in here, even though he's in the school, but it doesn't feel like that at all. And that whole thing of the Deadpool becoming an X-Man and, like, the heart, it doesn't really... I felt like there wasn't really a point to it. I don't know. Did you feel like there was more of a point to it? Like, the heart in the right place, sure thing. But I feel like the whole arc he had with Colossus and the school and everything felt entirely like just a pad the movie sort of thing.
Yeah. Like, I could like it as a, like, you know, this isn't working, like, as a, like, you know, this feels like it should be the responsible thing to do. Like, you know, he tones himself down, he tries to do a lot of these stereotypical, like, you know, housemate things.
Yeah.
But, like, that's not the way he's going to heal. But I don't think it really works in this movie, because also, like, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, like, and Colossus, and Yukio don't really work a lot because we remove them from the movie to do X-Force for the middle act. So when they come back, like, it's a little cool, but it's mostly just like, yeah, I remember them from the first movie, where they're also kind of sidelines.
Yeah, like, Teenage Negasonic Warhead is, again, not even a character in this movie.
Yeah.
She is a design, and that's all she is. But, really like seeing Yukio again, like, in a, again, completely different timeline, completely different Yukio, everything's so different, but, I like this Yukio, honestly, way better.
It broke my brain when I was on the X-Men Movies wiki, and I was looking up for the Wolverine, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a original timeline, revised timeline for Yukio? Who, what? And then I clicked on it, I was like, right, her name was Yukio, that is Yukio! Wait a minute, what?
When she first appeared, I thought it was Jubilee, because, like, they had not really done anything with her in Apocalypse, so I thought, like, they were like, sure, Deadpool, you can use her. But, like, I was expecting, like, who should we give Deadpool? Yukio, not even a mutant. But yeah, I don't know. This timeline is so bad, so bad.
I do need to head you off by saying that the time travel in Deadpool 2, like, Deadpool is essentially in his own timeline now.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this movie now we have a third time. Oh, no, he's not in his own timeline. He's not in his own timeline. Because, okay, so this movie has to take place after Apocalypse or before Logan. I mean, there's nothing else in between there, right?
Sure.
Do we know anything else in this timeline between Apocalypse and Logan?
No.
Yeah. So, it has to take place sometime in between there.
Yeah.
Assumingly this takes place in 2029 or 2030 or something, right?
It would have to be before then, because Logan is 2029.
But this... sorry, I'm saying this is before Logan. This has to be after Logan.
Does it?
Because they have all the Logan merch, and they talk about Logan dying. Like, they talk about Wolverine is dead.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So this is after Logan. So this is like 2029, 2030, somewhere around there. Charles still looks like the young Charles. Nobody seems to have aged at all. And I don't know where any of these characters were.
Sure.
Like, none of these were the 7 X-Men that were killed. The school is... Like, what is going on with the timeline? Like, the previous movie... I'm bringing this up just as to say, like, I think this has to be a point where Deadpool 2 has to be non-canon to the X-Men universe. It has to be. It just makes no sense. I kind of just, like, was going with it for the movie because I knew I was going to talk about it in discussion of just, like, this movie's not canon. This movie doesn't exist. I'm going to completely just pretend this movie didn't exist.
Yeah. But yeah, a big one has been, like, there's no way that we can do the time travel at the end and still have the movies exist. Because if Hitler is dead, you can't do any of Magneto's backstory.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a straight up, they can't
happen.
Yeah,
you can't. Yes, you actually cannot. It's like, yeah. I don't know what they were wanting. I don't know what the fuck was going on with the writing of this movie.
I mean, I think it was just a straight, we just don't want it to be in the same universe.
I mean,
we want to wink at it.
Sure, that, but I mean, like, there's so much other stuff as well. Yeah. It's just like this movie felt like it had a bunch of different writers that were really at odds with what they wanted to do, and the studio forced them to, like, work together or something. And I mean, again, my number one problem with the movie is that there's no point for the movie happening at all post the prison thing.
Right.
Like, there's no reason specifically why. I think the number one biggest plot hole that I absolutely hate is Cable going to this prison to kill the kid.
Yeah.
Then he and Deadpool fall out of the prison. They both go back to America.
Yeah.
And then Cable, for some reason, is like, I need information on where this kid's gonna be. I don't know where this kid's gonna be. I do know that they're going to move him somehow.
Right.
Even though I don't know that until later. But I do... like, there's no reason why he shouldn't just believe that the kid is still at the prison. Yeah. And even then, why did they just go right back into the prison? Why did Deadpool just go right back into the prison?
Yeah.
Like, it would be one thing if they did the classic thing that works for Deadpool of, like, the rip him in half or rip his arms off or just something that makes him unable to do something. But... that wasn't what happened to him. He was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He just went home. So bad writing. I mean, 90% of this movie is just, the jokes in the movie are, our movie is badly written.
Right.
Oh, man. It feels like with the amount of times where they make, the joke is solely, this writing is bad. Like, I've seen that in plenty of other stuff where we talk all the time, like, even if you call it out, it's still the thing.
Yeah.
This is so, they just make the same joke over and over again. That's not a joke, it's just calling out the bad writing. That it really feels like, to me, some of the writers put that in as a, like, listen, they wouldn't listen to us. We had to do this. We understand this is terrible. Don't blame me. It's so often, it's confusing.
Yeah, I mean, that spirit of just doing the thing is here from the first movie as well, where they do the, like, here are the tropes of the characters we're going to do, and then they just kind of do them.
I mean, yeah, honestly, egg on my face for thinking Cable was going to have a character and be anything more than future soldier trope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, again, I want to see a Domino movie. Domino had a lot of character. Domino was funny. Honestly, I would have watched just a stoner comedy of the whatever his name was, T.J. Miller's character. It started with like a W or something. I can't remember his name. But yeah, like, he was, like, him putting together a team of mutants and, like, him being the main character of, like, this shit. Like, him and Dopin, I think, have a very perfect energy. Like, they both have the same energy in this movie of, like, the, this human who is a really shitty person as well, but, like, you know, is willing, like, can put together people, or it works really well with other people, but is terrible by themselves, or is, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, like, the scene that everybody loves, and it's like, I understand why they did it, because everybody and their mother wants to do the X-Men parody thing of, like, mutants coming in, and then Charles giving them, like, a, you know, examination, like, all right, you're gonna be at the school, what's your power? Oh, that's a stupid power.
Right.
You know, that's everybody and their mother wants to do that, like, a skit on YouTube. And so they do it in here, too. Of course, you got to. But, again, none of Deadpool's jokes are really... Like, they're all just set up for T.J. Miller's character.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I guess all I can talk about with this movie, because it's not even like man, I hate this movie. It's I'm confused by this movie. How did this get made like this?
It's really odd.
And also in the credits of the movie, last movie, whose takeaway from last movie was, my favorite character was Vanessa? What? Who liked Vanessa? Did people like Vanessa?
People did like Vanessa, but I wouldn't say she was anyone's favorite character. Like, the credits thing is a very clear, like, we want this to hit harder as a controversial thing, but we killed her off because we know it's not going to be it's not going to hurt the movie. Yeah?
Like, it doesn't. It's so pointless.
Yeah. It's also, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it feels weird that, like, this is the same thing that they did in The Wolverine, which was Logan going, I can't die, and I keep on dying, and I go to heaven, and I meet Jean for a bit, and then she's like, oh, you gotta go back.
I mean,
like,
they're just doing Logan.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just doing the whole character Logan at this point.
Yeah.
They just want Deadpool to be Wolverine. And it's like, I don't want that. I want him to be the sassy Mark with a mouth, and, you know.
Yeah.
It was wild. After this, like, they really primed me for the, you know, I don't like Weapon 11 more than Deadpool, I thought, until watching this whole movie and then seeing Weapon 11 again and going like, you know what? No, I do like that more than it. Like, if I hadn't seen that scene, I probably would have said that, but it was one of those things that just, like, they put it in front of my face and they go, no, you can't give me this steam pile of shit. And then go like, look at that other turd. And me go like, oh, but no, that's a better turd. Oh, man. I would be fascinated to have a Wade Wilson from the Wolverine Origins as, like, that personality for an actual, like, full-length Deadpool movie, of having Deadpool, but he is more unapologetically an asshole.
Right.
Instead of just, like, I don't even know what Deadpool's personality is anymore. Like, yeah, this movie was a lot of, like, you know what was missing from the first movie? You know how in the first movie, Deadpool was, like, a lot of his jokes were just like, haha, I'm straight. What if instead all his jokes were just him being racist or a homophobe or whatever? Like, what? It's very clear that they can do jokes without doing that, and they had to rely on that solely for this entire movie. So bizarre. What is Deadpool? They don't know. They don't fucking know.
And they will never know, because again, this was the #1 performing R-rated movie of all time.
This beat out Deadpool 1?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It has only been beaten by Joker.
At least it has shittier ratings than Deadpool 1. I know that much,
Yeah.
at least. Oh, man. I want to die. I mean, to be fair, I can see why a lot of people went to go see it after the first run and everything. I get it. I get why it did well in box office. To be fair, I completely understand that. Anything else? I mean, Cable. Cable at the end.
Sure.
Cable, such a shitty character, the whole fucking thing. One, also, they make such a, like, there's a very recurring joke that the whole movie of, like, the Deadpool being racist and then saying that Cable is racist, but Cable isn't being racist, and then at the end they just go, nah, Cable's racist, and it's like, well, what's the point of any of that?
Wait, when was that?
In the car when he's like oh, your generation fucked up the whole world, and mutants fucked up the whole world, and all that.
Right.
Like, he meant it specifically as like the mutant generation, not like all you young kids messed up the whole world. But, like, it was a throwaway line, but it's a real, like, okay, so he is a mutant racist. Then why are we, like, why do we need that line at all? And also, I thought, like, okay, so then we're going to see what he means at any point. Also, we never see why this kid killed his family. Like, why did this kid... Again, they want to do the exact same thing Logan did, but they're going even harder on it. If you kill one person, you become a serial killer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a weird tack because, like, narratively, what they're trying to say is he cannot fulfill this specific act of revenge. And, like, I thought they were going to do something better with the, like, Deadpool talks to him and then the, bear transforms, and it's like, okay, so they just, by talking him down, it was fine.
Yeah.
But that's not really what they did. I mean, Defender managed to kill the race, pedo man.
Yeah,
but even that, we don't linger on it. It is like, I feel like in Deadpool 1, Deadpool would have said something like, or Deadpool would have probably just shot him in the head. If it would have been a, like, I said I didn't want this kid to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to rip you in half and poop on your body.
Yeah, like, again, this whole movie is just shitting all over the message of Deadpool 1.
Which is really weird.
And especially when they continue to bring up in the movie, heroes have to do shit that's messy. Heroes have to do stuff that's inconvenient.
Yeah.
Heroes have to do the stuff that's... But then they don't do that at all. They don't have to.
Yeah.
And, like, following the logic of the movie, Dopinder should then be going to kill Cable's family, apparently. Because that's just, like, assuming the only difference is he goes to do it and Cable just easily kills him because he's not a mutant. Like, but, like, this movie does imply, like, you kill one person and you just kill Cable's family.
Right.
It's so What? Who is Cable? Who is Cable? Why is he relevant to any of this? He has no connection to any of this. We're given no reason why any of this is relevant.
It is the most generic, I'm a soldier in the future and I'm fighting bad people like him, and then he came to my house and killed my family personally.
Yeah, it's like, there's definitely a reason why he killed his family. Like, killing his family, wrong move. But we don't know why. I'm not like, there might have been a justified reason. I'm just saying, what was the reason at all?
Yeah. I also think that, like Cable and Deadpool are a super famous, like, comic duo.
Also, really quick, he says, the kid says, in the flashback we see, the same thing, like, he's saying the thing that the headmaster said or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, like, what does that mean? Was Cable a part of the program? I don't know, because they don't tell us shit. But he said that for a reason. It's not like it was just some random person's family. I don't know. I was just so bothered by not having an explanation to that.
Sure. Like, he says it when he's going to kill the headmaster.
But no, in the flashback.
Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah?
Like, I think, again, I'm pretty sure the implication is supposed to be he takes it on his catchphrase once he kills the headmaster.
Okay. But even then, still, there has to be... there's not just him killing a random family.
Right. It's...
no, I agree. Anyway, yeah, I know. We're basically on the same page. As well, at the end... Cable, like, saying, well, my family is saved, so I keep talking about how shitty the future is and how bad the future is and how I need to, like, look at me. This is what happens to me because of the future. Family's gonna be fine though. I'm gonna stay back here and just chill, be cool. Deadpool then gets a time device, doesn't let him go back to the future. Aside from that, also, he could very easily, like Deadpool could have come back to life. Like he didn't need to do the time thing. He could have just put the fucking collar, took the collar off of Deadpool.
Yeah.
He would have healed back up. Then he waits until Deadpool dies to do any of this because. You know, like it's also one of the things where, like, Deadpool wanted to die, but he's not seeing him in like heaven with whatever, like, and this is not like the normal suicide sort of thing. Even though Deadpool throughout the rest of the movie, I mean, and even in that moment, is always dying in a very public way. He wants people to see it. Blah, blah, blah. That was not much of a cry for help sort of thing. That was like he wanted to die there, and then Cable was like, no, I'm not allowing this. I will not go back to see my family, so I can force you to not die. It's so awful. And when there's so many other options, he could have just put the collar back on him, let him revive, go back to his timeline with Deadpool, get more time juice, or get seemingly another device, and then you don't need the time. I don't know what's going on with the Deadpool doesn't need time juice. But either way, they go to the future, get more time juice. Deadpool goes back. Just a couple, like the writing in the movie is also you can't go back too far because that's just not how it works. The farther you go back, the worse you get messed up or whatever. Which is, again, Deadpool can go back to kill baby Hitler because whatever, it's Deadpool, it's the Wolverine thing. He can travel back through time because his body is regenerating. But even then, even ignoring that, going back to save his girlfriend would just be, or if it's his girlfriend, right? They're not married. It would just be like a couple days before Cable went back, so it's not even that much going farther back. It's so... It's... Also, why does jumping back in time a couple seconds or minutes, the same amount of time as jumping back in time years, or forward in time years? 50 years is equivalent to 50 minutes.
I mean, there's also the question of, why is it that he jumps back in time, saves Vanessa, but then the X-Force thing still happens?
That's a good question. That's a good question. It's also, I mean, like, it's an out-of-universe question, but it is like how did Deadpool happen at all if Ryan Reynolds was killed and then Weapon 11 was killed? 11 or 10?
11.
11. Because, then what's the...
Well, killing Ryan Reynolds should be fine. Ryan Reynolds is not Deadpool.
I mean, he always signs it Ryan Reynolds.
True.
But, I mean, that's what I'm saying, out of universe. Like, out of universe. Like, in universe, there is the Deadpool movie that you're watching. So it's like out of universe, in universe, it's still like it would still have to be made. They still reference how it had to be made. Like they show in the first one how it had to be made. So it's a very in universe.
You're right.
It's a real. If this movie is canon, Deadpool 1 isn't canon. And if Deadpool 1 is canon, this can't be canon. So, anything else? Tell me about Domino. Domino is dope. I love Domino. Great design. Fucking love it.
Domino's cool. Her actress refused to shave her armpits because she was like, I want girls with unshaved armpits to be on film.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they referenced the whole, like, no one thought Domino would be good in a movie.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just a literal, Domino's never been in an X-Men movie because no one thought Luck Powers would look cool.
That was, I gotta say, the worst part of the entire movie to me was just Deadpool talking about how much this wouldn't... Like, it was the kind of joke that is a very, like... I would see this in a Saturday morning cartoon, and even then, it's so annoying. It's like the kind of, like, your little brother trying to make a joke. Or it's so, like, it was so cringy.
It's also weirdly, like, it's weird to set that against a scene that is very, like, Kamen Rider CGI. Like, it tries to get away with this is really cool looking, so we can get away with it looking like butts. But it looks bad.
I mean, the whole movie CG has no weight to it.
Like, Deadpool 1, they were trying harder with everyone except for Colossus. And I'll give them Colossus because he's the CG character or whatever. But, like, in this movie, everything is so whack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean, especially, like, we just went from Logan, which doesn't have great CG. It doesn't. They just know how to make it weighty and chunky. Same with Origins even, has better fucking CG than this. Because they know how to make it weighty and they know how to make it chunky.
I mean, yeah, it is you can't just say this is bad and you're gonna laugh at it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do it's bad, but when I'm saying it's bad, you think in your head, no, it isn't. Mm-hmm. Or like, no, but I still like it though.
Or you have to have the justifiable, like, some parts are really, really good and then some parts are just not that good. But like, when the majority of it is not good, you can't make that joke. You can get away with making that joke when you have like one stinker or whatever, or like a couple stinkers out of, you know, a thing that is mostly good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the only thing I think this movie was better at than the first one was the opening sequence, the montage killing sequence. Only thing it did better than the first one. Only thing better. Mm-hmm. And the CGI in that stuff was really good. Mm-hmm. And then it all went out the window.
I am just astounded by the fact that they did, like, Domino has an arc in the movie, and the whole crux of the arc is, I don't really know why I'm here, but my power is luck, so I must be, like, lucking into a situation I want to be into. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of just, like, stumbles her way through surviving the X-Force thing. She goes to the school, she's like, oh, that's why I'm here. I hate these people. I'm gonna help blow up the school. Yeah. She saves the kids and gets out.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, even Colossus has, like, a better arc than fucking Deadpool. So many people have better arcs than Deadpool. Yeah. It sucks that, like, this is the one, like, you know, prominent lesbian couple we have gotten in you know, a superhero movie, and it's in this shit show. Yeah. There was also a lot of, like, you know, of course the Deadpool stuff is, like, making fun of X-Men a lot, but then also, last movie, they didn't really make fun of the MCU in any way whatsoever, really. Yeah. And then in this movie, there was way more of that in a way that wasn't really, you know, it wasn't like a parody of anything, or there wasn't like a, here's something stupid to the MCU, or here's something dumb about a Marvel movie or whatever. It was just like, suck it, Captain America. It's like, there's no, like, anything. Yeah. We're done. I don't want to talk about the movie anymore. We're done. It's over. Goodbye.
I don't have anything to say.
Do you have anything to say about, like, Juggernaut in this movie or whatever? Like,
he's got better CGI than Colossus. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds he did play him. That is Ryan Reynolds' voice.
Okay, wouldn't have guessed. Mm-hmm. I felt like half the character's reasoning for being here was a Juggernaut's a really dangerous person. We want to stop him. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that meant we just want to knock him out and then leave.
Right. That's what they meant.
That's what they meant.
Yeah, it's a weird jumble.
Did not realize at all until after the movie that was Josh Brolin as Cable. Had no idea at all. Yeah. I think that's truly the only, like, that was just it. They just wanted to have Josh Brolin as a person. Yeah. That's my guess. There's no character. Mm-hmm. It's just like, what if we just had Josh Brolin in the movie as basically just anybody?
It's weird because I would say Cable is, like, one of the most well-known parts of Deadpool. Like, they had a run for a long time that was just Deadpool and Cable. But Deadpool,
I bet.
Like, the problem is, really, Deadpool does not act like Deadpool in this movie. No. So Cable can't act like Cable. Like, you can't do the contrast because Deadpool's already the down-and-out straight man who feels sad and he's bad and everyone's goofing off of him. And, like, Cable's kind of goofing off of him. It's like, well, what is Cable supposed to do? Nothing, because they wrote him bad.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, Cable, to me, was the thing that I had feared about getting into superhero stuff for so long, of the, like, there's just going to be the character who, it doesn't really do anything in the movie, but they just keep talking about them like I'm already supposed to love them and know them and everything, and that was Cable. Cable was like the, oh my god, it's Cable, and it's like, who? I don't know, who the fuck is this? And then, like, even, all of that, the whole movie, like, even the post-credit scene where it's like Cable will kill kids, and it's like, that was supposed to be like a, haha, we're saying Cable kills kids. I'm like, I don't know who Cable is! You haven't told me who Cable is!
They did sneak in a sneaky Juggernaut is Charles' brother.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not the same. It's non-canon. I don't care. All of this is non-canon. This doesn't exist. It's not in the universe. It never happened. This movie didn't come out.
Alright, I think that's it.
If there's a Deadpool 3, I'm not watching it. Dunsky. Bye-bye. I'll see you for the next X-Men movie. Dark Phoenix. Ain't looking forward to that. If there's anything I'm looking forward to with Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse was the best looking movie I have ever seen to date. Still. So Hopefully Dark Phoenix can be that. If Dark Phoenix can be... But it's Dark Phoenix. It's gonna be dark. The thing that makes Apocalypse look so fucking good is that it's bright as shit for 90% of the movie. So, we'll see about that. I expect it might look like more dog shit than Deadpool 2 based off whatever that sound is. So, I'll see ya for that. We're almost through. We're almost to the end.